Finally. Man, Bloodborne was my very first Souls game, and I struggled quite a bit with this one. But it's very fun, way more so than Elden Ring in my opinion, because this game will make sure that you know how to play a Souls game and you'll actually build up some great skills from this. Full disclaimer, if you have a pre-patch version of the game, as you can see right here, I'm on app version 9 in the bottom right corner. But if you have the original version of the game, such as with a disc or something, then the game will be much easier because you can duplicate all upgrade materials and all souls items. In this game, they're called blood echoes, but you're able to duplicate anything and everything, like upgrade materials and the souls, any consumable items and whatnot, so definitely keep that in mind, but I'll be doing this without, so let's get into it. So yeah, that's a neat cutscene. To start out, I'll just call myself G. Gender doesn't matter, age doesn't matter. Origin is kind of like your class, but like I said, Bloodborne is very balanced in the sense that you don't start out with any different weapons or whatnot. It's just a different stat spread. So what I would recommend for this is start out with, I mean, you could do Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor is a great starting class because it starts out with plenty of vitality. All you really want, essentially, especially in the beginning of the game, is strength and skill. You want 10 skill, and then you want to get up to, I believe, 16 strength in order to make the second boss fight very easy. So, I mean, you could go with Violent Past as well. The stats, vitality is health, obviously. Endurance is endurance. Strength and skill are kind of like strength and dexterity, like in Elden Ring. Blood Tinge is your gun weapon damage, but it barely deals damage in the first place, so nothing to worry about. Arcane is kind of good, but not really important in the beginning of the game. So feel free to just ignore Blood Tinge and Arcane for right now. We'll be investing more into them later on. So, I'll go with, I'd recommend just either Lone Survivor or Violent Past, as how you prefer. I'll go with Violent Past, but I'll go with Lone Survivor because it has more runes to start out the game, or echoes rather. Feel free to change your appearance. When you start out the game, you'll just be in this sort of unique area. The nice thing about this game is you don't actually sort of have to die in the beginning. Most other Souls games will sort of force you to die. I mean, Dark Souls doesn't really, but Demon Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro, they all force you to die. If you die in this game, I mean, you can run past this guy. If you die in the beginning of the game, you'll be teleported to a area where you can pick up your weapon. Obviously, you don't have a weapon right now, but you don't actually have to die. You could just sort of go through here. Obviously, just go straight shot. You open up this gate, which is funny. You just push open a metal gate, and then you just get past that guy. And then, I mean, just like loop around him. And then up the ladder. That noise you just heard is from the first boss, which we'll be taking on pretty soon. Then right here, this is your checkpoint. And then you just activate it, click yes. Right in here, you want to interact with this thing. You can see it has those weapons, and then this. This is your gun, which is basically your shield. I know it's pretty funny, but either way, you want to grab the Hunter pistol because it does more damage. As you can see, blood attack does more damage than the Hunter blunderbuss, and it's faster. So keep that in mind. You can grab that, but I'm doing this offline, so the notebook is of no value. This, you want to be very careful. You can grab and purchase any of these items later on, so you don't have to grab these otherwise. I'd recommend Saw Cleaver because it's fast The axe does more damage, but the saw cleaver is much faster, and therefore better. And so right through here, you can just talk to him. He has some dialogue. Either way, sadly you can't exactly teleport like in Elden Ring, or like you can't just open up a map and teleport, but you want to go to these headstones and then teleport with these. Right through here then. Obviously you can feel free to fight as many enemies as you want, but I'm not particularly bothered to do that. Either way, you just want to sort of hop in here, grab this, because those are especially good against the first boss. And I mean, I know there's a lot of enemies, but you can literally just run past them, as you see I'm doing here. Feel free to grab this. And like I said, if you have the pre-patch version, you could just duplicate that. So keep that in mind. With this game, you can heal up by pushing the triangle button, which is really nice. You don't need to use your consumable slot, which you can see me using there. That's where you press square, at least on PlayStation. I mean, then again, this game is a PlayStation exclusive. This guy, you don't need to bother fighting him. I just did that to grab the torch. Oh, whoops, that was my bad. Either way, though, you can have your gun, and then you can just equip the torch on the side. Just tap the D-pad. Either way, you just want to go by that corner and then sort of hop in here. You can just kill the dogs for some easy blood echoes. And then you don't want to go down, you want to just come up. You could go up there and grab a cold blood, I believe. Yeah. Another nice mechanic in this game is called rally. Whenever you take damage, you're able to replenish some of, if not all of that damage by just damaging other enemies. Another thing in this game is you can transform your weapon by pushing L2, and with certain weapons you could just use R1 and then just keep pressing you can press R1 and then keep pressing L1 in order to deal more damage than you would have normally. It's a little slower, but it's more efficient in terms of stamina for maximum damage. Either way, you can now open up this gate. Normally this gate was unable to be opened. You could talk to that guy. And then essentially right up through here is how you get access to the first boss in the game. So you just kill this guy. And then first boss, you can see right through this big gate. But we're gonna grab some better armor first. And by better armor, I mean like 100% better armor. These wolves are dangerous, because I mean you can see how big they are. Over here, you just want to roll through. You can grab that if you want. I won't bother upgrading my weapons, especially since I've never been a fan of having to just go around grabbing so many different upgrade materials. Either way, you just want to roll down. And then you can feel free to kill these guys, and I'll show you the parry mechanic. Sort of where you would normally use a shield to parry an enemy, and say you just shoot him in the head. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That guy dropped an item. It just fell through the floor, yeah. These guys will usually drop blood vials, which are how you heal in this game. It's kind of annoying that you have to pick up blood vials, but you get 20 from the start of the game to heal up. And it's sort of a set amount based on your health, which I find better than the conventional healing used in Souls games. Either way though, even if you don't know how to parry, most enemies can be stun locked. Right through here, there's an enemy. These enemies can be stun locked If you don't know how to parry, obviously I have experience. I'll show you. You could just slash and just knock him down. But either way, it's okay if you die here. You just want to grab that, and then as you can see, significantly better in terms of defense. Obviously, it's a little weaker in terms of poison, but nothing in this early area can really use poison. So yeah, definitely pick up that armor, and you look a lot cooler too. Whoops. Oh, okay. Wow. Heal up. These enemies, like you see this item right here, there's enemies all over the place. You can kill them, but they have a lot of health, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'd recommend you come up here, because this part will make the first boss fight significantly easier. First off, right up those ladders, you want to just take on these guys. You can feel free to just shoot them, honestly, because, you know, they're birds, and they have very low health, as you can see. Just wait for them to sort of hop into the air, and then take care of them. You want to grab that, and then I'd recommend using it. Whenever you die, you won't actually lose this resource. And then, as long as you have one, you'll be able to level up. So with this guy, you just want to walk right behind him. And then you have a backstab mechanic in this game. But instead of just backstabbing, you have to charge up an attack. So either way, you want to talk to her, find the girl's mother. And then tiny music box, you can definitely use that against the second boss in order to stun him significantly. So definitely something to keep in mind. And then you can feel free to open this. It's kind of unimportant because we already have a shortcut to the boss fight, but essentially, obviously, you could just grab this, and then this is where we were with the giant. You can also grab some blood vials right up here, because you want to grab as many blood vials as you can. But we still have to unlock a shortcut to the second boss, so keep that in mind. Be very careful here. You can just roll off or fall off if you want. And then the next shortcut is very easy to get to. You just come down here. Be careful of this, because you know this is a very long ladder. With this, you can just roll off. And then you want to go straight. Just ignore all these guys. You could go up this ladder, but there's actually 2 items you can grab here. Just run straight past the pig. Like, you can just run right behind him. Very easy fellow. You can grab quite a few runes from killing him. But worst case, you could just come after him later. You want to just come out that left path and then climb up the ladder. Right here, that guy's gonna blow himself up, which is another reason to go through here. And then with this guy, you just want to whack his shield a few times, and then you'll kill him in one hit. Right up here is the second boss, right through that gate. But we're not going to fight him just yet. Now we're going to take on the first boss, because now we got some good armor. Either way, just run through this gate, or like this path. Feel free to pick up any items these guys dropped. And then you want to take this right, and here's an elevator. This is the shortcut to the second boss. So I just wanted to grab these. And then right through here is a sort of farm you can use, but just run past them. And then just essentially just keep running straight and you'll be back up here. Return to the Hunter's Dream because now we can level up. Oh wait, so right here you can see the doll. Originally it was just sort of sitting there. Now that we have one insight, which is that sort of eye icon, you can use it. And then you can use that to summon NPCs when you fight. Either way,
Hello, good eye on an eye. You will twin.
you always need insight in order to use the doll. Either way, you can level up. Obviously, I'd recommend putting points into strength because you want as much strength. You want the 16 strength required for the item we'll be getting, known as the Kirk Hammer. You know, I probably should have got the class that starts out with higher strength, but whatever. I mean, HP is good too. Either way, just put some points into strength. And then I would also recommend purchasing some Molotov cocktails if you can. You want to always have 10. And then just equip those. Those are always good because they're just consumable items for free damage, so to speak. Oh wait, let's actually upgrade. If you have enough, bloodstone shards, yeah, okay. We can upgrade once. I'm just gonna pop those. So fortify, and then upgrade. Never bother upgrading your guns, at least, especially at this point in the game, because it barely deals any damage in the first place. So now, we're gonna head back to Central Yarnum, fight the first boss.